Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supremacy the God, and today I want to talk about Yuji Itadori and why I think he is a sensational character. Now, normally in shonen, you get your protagonist and they keep powering up and powering up. Something bad happens to them, they get stronger. Luffy with the Gear 5, he literally dies to get Gear 5 and it revives him, and the drums of liberations beat within him and he comes back. Naruto has his KCMs and his Kurama chakra modes and all of that stuff, and the tails and those ray jams or whatever. You can go to many shonens and it's usually pretty similar. Goku comes back to life and gets eats a sensu bean, or goes to Super Saiyan, whatever. All of these characters get that, but Yuji doesn't really seem to. Now he does get power ups, but he's come a lot more, I want to say, meticulously and more nuanced. It doesn't mean that JJK is the best written piece of fiction. I'm not trying to say it's better than One Piece or better than Naruto or better than, what I'm saying? It's not my favorite out of these. I'd prefer Naruto over JJK. Probably prefer One Piece over JJK. But there's certain things I prefer from JJK than from either. And one of them is debts. Um, Not that debts carry more weight. It's just the amount of relevant debts I really enjoy. I think Naruto has quite a lot as well, but I like the relevant debts and how it handles it. But Yuji specifically, I like that he had to eat his brothers that he didn't know was his brothers, the date painting wounds, in order to gain power. By the way, obviously, spoilers alert. I like that, Yuta says that they cheated in order for them to get as strong as they need to be to fight Sukuna. I like that, he doesn't just suddenly get a boost in the middle of a fight. Even though you can argue he kind of got it versus Mahito, but he did but didn't, because he needed help in the first place. If Todo wasn't there, he would have died. Um, and if Sukuna wasn't his body, he also would have died. Or wasn't, like, he wasn't a vessel for Sukuna, he also would have died. But Sukuna wasn't intentionally trying to help him. You know what I'm saying? It's just Sukuna was like, if Sukuna's soul gets transfigured, there is no more Sukuna, essentially. So why would he allow that? But he doesn't care if Yuji dies, because somebody else eventually is going to eat his finger. He's eventually going to be reincarnated. Somebody's eventually going to try to find them, and they're unbreakable. So even if you kill the curse or the vessel that has it, the fingers remain. So it's almost like a death-proof plan, until obviously he reincarnated, where it's no longer a death-proof plan. But and I think that's what the beauty of it. Yuji goes through all this emotion. He watches Nobara die. He watches, one of his mentors die. He watches the guy that saved his life and his mentor, in Gojo die. He watches his best friend get taken away from him and turned into a villain, the biggest op of his life in Sukuna. Like, all of these things happen to him, and there's nothing he can do in those moments. And even now, there's really nothing much he can do without the help of tons and tons of people and tons of debt, including the death of Gojo, who, really weakened Sukuna the most possible by removing his domain expansion. He fucked up his body physically, and forcing him to reincarnate to his true body, which basically prevents him from being able to revive himself or to save himself. Um, and then obviously Utah pulling up. You had, you know, the judgment, coming through. All of that. So many things happened that was other characters, if they saw Gojo die, for example, they'll just get a power up from that. You know what I'm saying? Yuji doesn't get a power up from that at all. None of them get a power up from that. There is no power of love power up. There's no power of friendship power up. You either have it or you don't, and I like that luck plays a factor. Like, if Yuji didn't land that Black Flash against Mahito, they probably would have lost, because he was transforming into another being at a different level. And that Black Flash happened at the right time, but he's knack for Black Flash and like Divergent Fist are uncanny. So This is just something that he's gifted with, probably would be because of how Kenjaku made him. And the fact that he's made to be different and yet he seems so normal in comparison to other people that are just so much better, or or most broken, and stuff like that, really makes it great. And that's why I really like Yuji. And again, even right now in this story, he's super traumatized and he's willing to do whatever it takes to save his friend and to kill Sukuna. And you know, yet through it all, he right now he's not the strongest character on the battlefield. You would say Maki would wash him. You would say, Yuta would wash him. You'd say that, Hikaru would wash him. And that's just people on his own team, you know what I'm saying? And before Kenjaku got murked by Yuta, you would say he'd wash him. And Sukuna would wash him. Do you know what I mean? So it's great that even though we're reaching the climax of the story, Yuji, our protagonist, is still not the strongest character. He's not even top two. He's not top. You know what I'm saying? Until everybody dies, he's not top anything. Really, he's like top five, top six. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really, really intriguing, and that's the kind of the beauty of his character, because we know in One Piece, for example, right now, Gear 5 Luffy is basically already like top five strongest character in the verse, right? Or he's like up there already, and even though it's the final saga, we're only in the first island of the final saga. You know what I'm saying? And already he defeated Kaido, who's allegedly the strongest creature. He's going to defeat Kizaru and Saturn somehow, propelling him, and then he's eventually going to probably defeat Shanks. Like he's going to be top one by the end of the verse. But with Yuji, even if he wins, he's top one. Even if he wins and he's the only one alive with Maki, he wouldn't be top one. If Maki dies and everybody else dies or whatever, and he's the only one alive, he'd be top one, not because he was stronger than the people that died. It's just because the people that died made the villain so much weaker that Yuji was able to win. Do you get me? Which is such an intriguing way of writing a story, and I really, really love that, because it gives more weight, I feel like, to his character for me, and for his success as well, because so many people had to sacrifice in order for him to be able to save Megumi, and for him to be able to defeat Sukuna, which he hasn't even done yet. And the beauty of it as well is we don't even know if he will do it, because Gege is such a fucking crazy motherfucker. So that's what I think anyway. Let me know. I really, really like Yuji because of that. Obviously his personality, he's a fun guy. Was We haven't seen the boy smile in quite some time. Last time he smiled when he was trying to get his mentor, his master in Gojo to at least smile before going into what could be his last battle. And since then he's really just not, most of the story he's just spent in pain and agony and rage and suffering, which is, again, why I really like his character and why I think he's such a sensational protagonist, because it's really, if you would get thrown into an anime or a shonen manga and you were given some kind of abilities, but you wasn't the most broken character, the story would be somewhat like this. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. Anyway, it's been your voice of Premature to God. Make sure you leave a like and comment, subscribe. I'm out.